Hey friends, it's your girl Lovey, and welcome to the premier television recap podcast, Live, Laugh, and Lovey, where we explore and unpack our favorite weekly shows while adding some love and laughter to each episode. Today's show, we're going to focus on episode 3 of The Shy. But before we begin, I am proud to announce that I am now a part of the Pop Break Radio Network family, where my podcast will be featured on the popbreak.com website, which is in fact an online entertainment magazine. You can find a whole lot of information there. You can find articles about TV, film, music, sci-fi, just a whole lot of information. And while you're there, you can definitely catch all of my episodes as it relates to my podcast on Pop Break TV. Also on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and most places where podcasts can be found. So definitely go check it out, thepopbreak.com. All right, so let's go ahead and dig into The Shy. All right, ladies, welcome, welcome, welcome. How is everyone doing today?
Well, good afternoon.
Right?
All right, so let's go ahead and jump right on to episode 3. Aaron, you want to start us off? Where you want to start?
Well, let's start at the door. Where because obviously last episode ended with Kevin at the Nuts door looking for Keisha. We opened there, didn't get in, but he did not back down. Kevin did not back down. And then when he left, he was like, "I'm gonna get at you." I'm like, "Okay, then."
He,
I'm
he
gonna
earned a
catch
lot
you.
of he earned a lot of respect saying that too.
He
You're
did.
right.
Hmm
I was like slick shook, like, "Oh, okay, little boy, you got it."
Okay, Iva.
Yeah, I had some cheers for Kevin with that. I'ma catch you, because he was serious about his sister. Uh, he wanted to make sure that everything was going okay. I had a couple of other little one-liners and things, but they'll. It's probably gonna be better when we get into those areas and we can talk about them in the flow. But we had a lot of developments this episode, though. I think.
We sure did. We sure
Hmm.
did. Were you like, oh, okay,
Yes, I
okay.
was.
Miss Ja.
But I want to start with Dre and her nasty attitude.
Mm.
We're bringing the fan
I,
out early, y'all. We're bringing the fan out early. Go ahead.
yes, Iva has brought out her fan and she is fanning herself. Everybody.
Yes, it is shade time, y'all. Go ahead, John.
It's early.
Dre,
Early.
I, I was disappointed in her because you just got married and you are trying to support your wife, and she's going through some things. She doesn't know where her daughter is for 7 days. And here you are, and I understand you're taking on this fatherly role, and you also care about Keisha as well. But I'm gonna need for you to back up and pump the brakes a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess at this group, I also was disappointed in these women who were bringing up all these things that were irrelevant about Keisha. But Aaron, go ahead and tell us what you think about that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So Dre had two sides of her in this episode because at first I was like, "Oh, Dre," and I was like, "Okay, Dre," you know. But as far as the women in the episode, I was like, "Oh my God, really? Like, y'all gonna sit up there and act like y'all hired, what I'm saying, on your little high horse, and y'all supposed to be a support group, But again, looking at it from the worldly lens, I thought it was important that they put that aspect in there because that is some of the issues that we face when our children go missing. It's always, and even when they get killed,
True.
you always get their background and what they're going through. They was fast, they was doing drugs, they was always in trouble or whatever to justify why we shouldn't take their either their death or them being missing, why we shouldn't take it seriously or shouldn't have a whole lot of hope for it because they was destined for trouble anyway. Like, And
When,
also, excuse me.
okay, but when Nina, what started their argument was when Nina had said, "But she's not your daughter." I don't really
Ooh.
feel like Nina. I didn't feel like it was a dig.
Hmm.
I did.
I
I would
did too.
agree with that because kind of going back to episode 1 where she's not in her right mind. Her child is missing.
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
even though she wasn't 100% clocked in to what was going on with her kids, okay, now it's forcing her to be relevant. I mean, to be present. And so she's not in her right mind. So Keisha strikes me as young. Not Keisha, Dre. She strikes me as being someone who's younger because her actions and the way that she spoke seems to be one of someone who is young. Um,
What?
because because again, this is your wife. Be by her side. Don't get offended when, you know, in the heat of the moment, I said, well, this is not your kid. She's not your child. Okay, you know what? I'm gonna let you have that. You can
Because
have that.
what she's saying is that, well, this is my child because I've been with her all the time. That's I took it, and if I would say something like that, that's what I mean. Not that I'm saying you haven't been a part of and you're not impactful and you don't mean anything. But yeah, she took that in. She took it. I felt like she took it in the wrong way because I don't think Nina Minnie really meant it that way. It
Right.
came
Well,
off the way
I
though.
I took it the way Drake took it because I understand where you can have, you know, heat of the moment and things like that. There were different things that she could have said. Did she say it? No. I mean, but I just
But it's
think.
different when you do have a blended family. I'm part of a
Mhm.
blended family, and there
Mhm.
are things that how I've been raising my children. There are things that I do, and I will say, "Well, this is not your kid."
Mhm. Right.
I don't
But
mean that you don't, you're mean. You
contribute.
have no part
Right.
of this. It's a fact. That's it.
Yeah, that's true. I just think that in the context that it came out, how she was trying to, because she was actually trying to comfort Nina at that time. Don't worry about what they were saying. I don't even know my child. I don't even know. I mean, Nina was hard on herself during that time, actually. And Dre was trying to. That was one of the softer sides of Dre, I could say, because she's been trying to be like the what the barking dog this whole time
But when
about the
it's your kid,
situation.
you are going to panic. When it's your
Yes,
child, you're going to panic. And I think because Dre did not have kids, that was the part that she couldn't understand.
but I get that. I'm just saying during that time, I think that she was trying to comfort her. She was trying to tell her, don't worry about this. Let's find her. But I don't know anything about her. It doesn't matter if she had, if she what kind of picture she had up there. She said something specifically, but she said it doesn't matter what kind of picture she has up there. I don't care if she's basically with the whole team or anybody. She's missing and we need to find her. And that's when, she turned around and was like, she's not even your child. So I just think, I don't know. I took it a certain way too. Like, I'm trying to comfort you in this moment. I understand she's not mine, but you just went there. Then she asked about,
But when
well, do
she
you
went
even think
there,
I'm a
she
good
was saying,
mom?
you're not the one that people are going to look at and who's so I always tell my children, you're a reflection of me. When you walk out in these streets and
True.
you remember you're a reflection of me. So that's what
Mhm.
she's saying. She's not your child. This stuff that she has going on that I didn't know about. Remember we kept talking.
She
I
didn't
think
know
we
her.
talked about
Yeah,
an episode. I think when we discussed episode. Was it the last episode?
it was the last one.
I said I
Hmm.
was surprised that she doesn't know her daughter,
Hmm.
but I don't think she's a bad mother. No.
Hmm.
No, she doesn't. She's just like she says. She works. She works hard to put food on the table, and it's always just it's been her primary for the majority of the time. Dre is just now coming into the fold to add some relief, to the
Mm.
family household. So, she's the representative of what single mothers look like, where they're not home the majority of the time because they busting their behind trying to keep the lights on, trying to keep a roof over their head. So yeah, sometimes they fall, kids, teenagers, they fall on behind the cracks and the parents don't know nothing about it. but she has to take some responsibility herself too. I mean, now may not necessarily be the time to point that out, but in the end, she is going to have to take some accountability. No, I was not there, even though I may not work all the time. But
Hmm.
like you said, John, when you leave this house, you represent us as a unit. You represent me.
Yeah.
So when you go out here, I need you to conduct yourself in an orderly fashion. You know what I'm saying? If you want to be a hoe underneath the covers. Don't let the whole world know, because that's what I did, honey, when I was coming up.
And
Oh,
you televised it, right?
oh,
Yes,
She
I
got to
kid.
oh,
televise everything. What is
Transparency.
this website?
oh.
What was this website?
Well, I was gonna go there a little bit on that website. I mean, of course it was a something that was probably said behind the scenes. But how did Jada know? Did Emmett come home and talk to her about this website, or do you think they called and was like, "We think Emmett
No,
knows"?
Jada told Emmett,
No,
I know you dealt with her.
but how
No, but
did
how
Jada
does she
know to?
know
Yeah, how did she know to tell
that
him
he
that?
was asked?
Yes, because he wasn't there.
I caught
So
that too.
yeah, so did Dre call him? Because Dre didn't believe him when he said he didn't know. She didn't believe him. I don't think she believed him because she looked and was like, "Oh, okay." I don't know nothing about that. She was like, "Okay." So I'm wondering, did she or Nina call, Jada like,
But it was
please, if
word
he
on the
knows, we
street.
know.
The word on the street knew that she was on these websites. So,
Right,
the children circuit.
but they didn't know. She didn't. Jada didn't know that Emmett was asked. She wasn't there when he brought that chicken.
Hmm.
But I mean, I think that Dre had to call her because once Amy
Mm,
wrote down the username and whatnot, she took it back to Dre. So that had to be who called Jada
mm-hmm.
and was like, "Can you see if Emmett know?" Because
Yeah,
I know they had a relationship.
I
And
think
real
so.
quick, I wanted to go back to what y'all was talking about Dre and Nina. So this is why I felt bad for Dre when Nina lashed out. Because I get where y'all coming from about her being a single mother, but this is a new marriage. So when you marry somebody and you have children, that's part of the conversation. Because even in the wedding vows and whatnot, she made it a point to, we're a family, and this, that, and the third. So you are now asking this person to be a co-parent with you. And I don't think that she's been around long enough for her to not take it offensively, because she's literally trying. This is a new role for her. She does not have kids, so she is trying to be a parent now. And she is trying to comfort Nina. That was in a time where I was actually on Dre's side, because I've been questionable about
Yeah, I
or
don't.
iffy about Dre the whole
Me
time,
too.
You have.
especially at the beginning.
Me
But
too.
in that moment, I felt like Dre was doing and saying the right things,
In
and I
her
appreciate.
way, in her own way.
Okay.
No, I mean, because if she's never been in that situation before, she has no other example to be able to go by. So in her own way, okay, she felt she was doing the right thing by saying this, that, and the third. It may not have been received properly by Nina, but her intent
Nina
was
in that
well.
moment was feeling like a failure because if
Yeah,
your
Hmm.
kids out here
she gonna take
doing stuff
anything
that everybody in the children's circle knows about
new.
you, except
Woo!
you, okay, you're gonna feel like some type of failure. And that's
Yeah,
what she was doing. And that's why she asked her, do you even think I'm a good mother?
Yeah.
And she said she worked and she was working hard for these kids so they can have and she could provide. And most of that she had been doing, that was likely pre-Dre. That was, being
mm-hmm.
a single mother.
First
Absolutely.
season. That's why she said I've done so much for them, but I haven't given them the chance to be free. Being so strict, and I think that was a lesson in itself. Just saying that a lot of people at my high school, my graduating year, the thing to celebrate was if you had not had a child or if you were not pregnant by that time. You know what I'm saying? And out of all the hundreds or however many of us that graduated, I was one of those. But there weren't that many of us.
That was interesting.
Really?
Yeah,
In
Y'all
my
had that many?
school,
yeah, there
so
weren't
in
that
my
many
high
of us.
school, okay, so I went to a private high school. There was one girl there that was pregnant.
Hmm.
She could not wear the uniform when she began the show. They did not play that
Yeah, see,
because that was a misrepresentation
of
of
the
our school.
uniform.
But they
Yeah.
could not put her out. She did
Hmm.
end up leaving because of that. Over
Hmm.
it was a lot of, she was getting looked at. That wasn't a
Hmm.
thing with, and we're in the same school, but I was just in a private school, and that was not a thing. I had my
Hmm.
first child at 24. And like you said, the average person that had a baby was around 19, 20. And I was the last of the Mohicans with my friends. And I cried because I felt like I was too young.
Well, hell, I'm still the last of Mohican, so I'm the Mohican because it ain't happening around here. If it comes up out of here, you get a car, you get a car, we all get in the car, okay? You understand me?
I do need a
But
new car so I can make it
I
happen.
honey,
can't.
baby,
I can't.
trust.
I can't.
You'll be the first one to get
Let's not
it.
let's not defy
but
science.
but
Let's
right. but but that'd be a nice check. But yeah, that was that. So I understand where she's probably out of touch, or she's thinking of. And the reason I was saying that was because the people that I know that I was close to in those situations is because their moms were like this, like you can't go anywhere. You have to be, I work. You got to be here. You got to do this. You got that. So they took other avenues to go out. Once my mom found that out, that some of my close friends were, expecting, my mom was like, "Oh, what you want to do? You want to go to the movies? Bye. What you want to do?" She started giving me that trust because she was like, "Let me get her into something else because I don't want her to get into something else." So I understood that.
But I don't think that Keisha, I don't think that Nina was withholding Keisha to do things.
She was. If you
Just
remember from them first
Keisha
seasons,
was just
she
on a down low about everything she was
she
doing.
was she was kind of sneaky. But if you remember from those first couple seasons, that's all they used to talk about was Kevin and Keisha about how their mom was strict, or my mama not playing. I mean, of course, your mama not playing that period, but um, they would talk about her strictness. That's what I remember.
Mm.
So when she said that, it made me remember, like, okay, and then it made me reflect and think about life with my friends.
So Keisha wasn't up in Nick's house, but it was girls up in Nick's house.
It
And it looked
was.
like they wasn't there willingly.
That's
Yeah,
what
the
the girl
guy said
said.
that.
He's
Yeah.
yeah, she said that.
Mhm.
If she's here, she ain't here. What she said, by choice.
By
That's what she said.
choice. Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know what is now. It's now we still got this question mark on our head, and we still don't know a lot about Imani because she tripped out in that house,
She had a flashback, baby.
and she started talking about that could have been me. I want to know more about that.
Yes, I got that on my paper too. Like
Yeah, because I was like, how
what
was
kind of
that gonna be
trauma has
you?
she been through?
And
Yeah.
what
Well, she
which
could have been a
version?
fun boy. She could have been a fun boy back in the day.
Yeah,
She could have been a street, what do they call him? A street slave. Not just a sex slave, but she could have been a street. I can't remember. I just read the term, so I'm trying to come up with my terms, y'all. But I just read the term. She was having like she was like a street person, but maybe she got kicked out. I'm ready for that to develop, and that's also making me excited because I'm thinking that with all this unfolding, you're not gonna unpack this, as Lovey says, unpack. You're not gonna unpack this in one season of episodes. So I think that they're gonna help these kids or these ladies. That's how she gonna open up her salon. They're gonna be there. They're gonna put down roots because he's not gonna leave Jake.
Mhm.
Because Jake
Yeah.
ain't going nowhere.
And
it
can
looks
we
like Jake is going to
speak
go
on
back
the
to
fact?
country.
Hmm.
Oh, go
Huh?
ahead, Aaron. Go ahead, Aaron.
No, I was just gonna say, when she said I'm your bodyguard, was anybody else cut off
Nope.
guard by that?
No.
Nope.
I was
I
like,
wasn't.
He a
I
dude.
wasn't. She That's not why I thought that. I'm just saying
That's what
that,
I felt. I'm sorry.
no,
I mean, I don't need to. I'm not. I just have to keep it real.
I know.
There's another dude, and he got the same power as a man, and he can go in there and do that.
I was just thinking to me, she seems like an assertive, like she kind of like a boss bitch. So
She
I'm just gonna put it
is.
like that. Yeah. So
She
she
is.
was
We saw
like,
that in the first episode.
we did. So when she came in there, she knucking and bucking the same as him. She came in there with that same firepower.
That's the
Hey,
same
Boom.
hey,
power.
Yeah,
hey.
Oh,
I had to do
manpower.
that for you, Lovey.
Right,
But
because I'm
yes,
doing the
yes,
dance
she came
too.
in there with the same manpower. Yes, I said it. So,
But
people, I said what I
I was
said.
applauding that scene when they came up to the door. He pulled
Guns
out a zip.
blazing.
I was like, you better do that. I'm sorry, I
Ronnie
am
and
pro
Clyde.
Second Amendment. I am
Ronnie and
pro
Clyde.
Second Amendment. I was like, pull them out. Yes.
Hello,
Tell me
hello,
what I need to know. Who up in here? Who up in
hello,
here? And who
hello,
want it?
hello.
I'm sorry.
You see
I
how she
had a
bust through
moment.
that
I'm
door,
happy.
Aaron? You see how she bust through that door though?
Yes.
And he had to pull her on. I like how they keep each other on track. Stay focused. Stay focused. Because first of all, he know they weren't supposed to be in there in the first place. Because as he told his brother, what all gangsters don't know
Yeah,
everybody.
I hollered when he
Oh
said that.
yes.
All gangsters don't
Because
know
everybody believes
everybody.
that. Everybody
Right.
believes that.
But
And
Much like Aaron believes that all people from California knows all people
oh
from
my
oh
goodness.
California.
yeah.
Let me tell y'all real
Mm-hmm.
fast. People, if you're listening, we do not know Too Well, I do know Too Short.
Right,
But
right.
not
I think
everybody
we've
knows
all
Too
been in the
Short.
same. We've all been in the same room with him, though.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
was about to say,
At some
well, I
point
do
yeah.
in
know Too
time.
Short, so that's what I was
Too
about to say. Let me
short,
stop. But
hammer.
everybody don't know Too Short. Everybody don't know Hammer. Everybody don't. Well, I did meet Pac and Lovey met Pac, but everybody don't know.
Yeah, see what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Y'all not helping
right.
y'all case
But
out.
I
Oh,
think the local.
and we're
I
from the
think
Bay.
no, but I think
L.A.
the
is not the
local
Bay. Thank
one,
you.
not LA. But if you've been local, you've been in the room with E40 and be legit, and you know, you
Oh
get.
yeah. Well, yes.
Yeah, but but
Don't
this
know
is
him though.
generally right. But
Right.
this is people from other states that
Hmm.
will
Yeah.
generally ask. Like Erin asked me the other day because she was speaking on someone who was from California. She didn't specify which coast. And
Hmm.
then she
Nope.
And
was
that's
like, I'm
important.
surprised. She's like, I'm surprised you don't know him. And I was like, why? Because he's from California. Yeah, I just figured that y'all know each other.
Mm-mm.
No, it's
But while we
areas of California.
clarifying,
I have no idea.
Right.
here in Atlanta, we don't know the housewives. We don't know the
Oh,
housewives.
you
Lovey do.
don't?
Lovey do. Lovey know
Lovey
them.
does not
But
know any of the
yes.
housewives.
Yes,
Okay?
you do.
Let's be
Yes.
clear.
You ain't met none of them?
I have not met any of them.
Oh,
Oh.
okay. All right.
Well,
But
Next.
no, because like my
even
aunt,
I've met one of them.
oh Lord, well, anyways, because my aunt from
I have.
My aunt from North Carolina, asked me, you know Nene? I'm like, no. Who? The housewives. You
No,
ain't never
no.
seen our house? Don't y'all like Atlanta is so much bigger than just a street or something. It is
Right.
not a
And they probably
Right.
live in
but okay.
Conyers. They probably don't even live in Atlanta.
They don't. They
Right.
don't live within the city limits. No, they
Right. But you
don't.
can't say Real
No, because you
Housewives
go
of
down into the
Conyers.
woods when you go into their house, so you know they don't live in Atlanta.
Right. So yeah, so that's kind of okay. I digress. Let's get back
Right.
onto us.
Yeah.
And we're back, people. Thank you
Right.
for going on that ride with us.
Okay.
Oh,
How about Ronnie and Charlene?
Uh-huh.
how about Charlene and
He
that
don't want that
Wiglet?
pity. Wait, he don't want that pity pussy though.
That is
Okay.
better than no pussy at all.
I love giving back to the community. Like, first of all, you getting paid to help these homeless people, and you sleeping with them for free because they homeless
She
because
ain't
you
getting
ain't getting
paid
no
to help
You
no
gonna ask
benefits.
homeless
Ronnie, you
people.
don't like women?
Right.
Right.
Like,
Just
first of
unlike
all,
you.
you look like a man. Uh,
Hello. That wiglet on top of her head
I
needs
cannot.
there.
attention. So if she is going to be getting more scenes to the people at the shy, if she's going to be getting more scenes, I'ma need y'all to give her a little bit more time in hair and makeup, specifically hair,
Hair.
because that
I done
She
wiglet
put the
can't
fan up,
be.
y'all.
was atrocious.
She
We done put
can't
the
be looking all glowy and dewy and stuff working
But you
at
could
the
be looking
recycling center.
all better than that.
Yeah, her face don't have to be beat, but please have
Yeah.
your hair together. I don't even
Thank
wear
you,
wigs, and I could put one on better than that.
Well, I
girl.
thought about the Live, Love, and Laffy crew when Ronnie was going through the recycle again.
Oh, with the
Yes.
camera. He had. Did you say he had gloves on too, Jock? I'm telling y'all. Yeah, he had
Hey, he
gloves
making
on.
his money, honey.
Yes, he
Okay.
gets
He is.
coins.
He has. He was going. Where was he passing by? And they held the door open and gave him a bag. Here you go, Ronnie. So he got his
Right.
little.
I was
You
wondering,
know.
was he getting paid in cans?
No,
Mm.
no. I think they know. Like the people in his little homeless community knew about, or hey, like he was Norm. I think he's like getting that. notoriety, and he just walks by, I guess, and they were like,
But he
giving him.
was sweeping, and then once he finished sweeping,
Right.
they
I
gave
can
him the
see that.
bag.
Oh yeah,
I can
that
see
one,
that.
yeah. I
Mhm.
think so too. Because he going and get his little money. You see, he took them flowers to little ugly little Wiglet girl.
But
So
before that, he
Mm-hmm.
got jumped
he
by some
did, and
boy.
went to Papa's house.
Well,
Mhm.
yeah, Papa's
The
dad with
Dad,
church.
the church,
yeah,
the
Mhm.
pastor brought him in.
Right.
yes,
And he knew who he was, and it didn't mean anything. He made no judgment on him, and
sure
he
didn't,
did his job as a pastor.
sure
Mhm.
did.
As a Christian.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, and I appreciated him saying, because like even when was that Papa that was right there?
Yeah,
Was
that's
Yeah.
that
Papa
when he was like, this a dude that killed
Cookie.
who did he
Coogie,
kill? Coogie.
Coogie.
Killed Coogie, a child of God. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I was like, okay, all right, speak up. Tell the church what the church need to be doing because they not
Yeah,
doing it these days.
yeah.
But
Wait a minute, y'all. I told y'all grandma was in a nursing
Yes, you
home.
did, you did, you did, you
that was
did.
a high low moment for me because I was like,
I
yay, grandma's back.
know,
Oh,
but
she's
she's
But she
not
didn't know
back.
Ronnie. I mean, she knew Ronnie, but she
No, she
didn't
did.
know
No, she
Ronnie.
did.
no.
No, she
No,
didn't.
she said, "You're not my grandson. My grandson is a hero. You
Right.
was a
She does
bum."
not. She does not know who he is because when he was putting the piece of paper on the table, she flinched over. She thought he was the man coming to give her the batteries. Remember, she going
But
like
she's
this.
having dementia. But so
Yeah,
she
she
knows
got. She
him,
got.
but she didn't recognize Ronnie because she said he looked like a bum. And
Mhm.
But
that
Bronny
made
been
Ronnie,
looking like that, girl, and she been knowing who his ass was all these other seasons. Hell, he only been
her
looking good for
dementia
three
is
episodes when he was
progressing.
dating with right. So if it's progressive, she raised him. You don't think she would know him? That's
Yeah,
No.
letting
not
you
with,
know. That's letting
not
you
with,
know how
No.
what's the name? Her thing is
not,
she know about her stories. She's in a certain period.
yeah,
It's going
she's in a
further
certain period,
back.
but when you have
Yeah,
dementia, it could cloud up things.
and
Right.
So
jump
One minute you
over.
could be
Right.
lucid, the next minute you're not.
Right.
So,
So
cause
she's jumping back in that past before Ronnie. She did
mhm.
not
and
know
that's
who he
typically
was.
how dementia works
Mhm.
in old age. Like they are always like yesterday to them is 30 years ago. Like that's pretty
Hmm.
much they can remember 30 years ago clearly like it was
Clearer.
yesterday, but have no
Right.
idea what happened
but did you
yesterday,
but did
literally.
you notice when that scene started off, she said, "Where have you been?" or something like
Yes.
that.
Mhm.
So it
That's why
threw
we
him
thought
off,
she
but
knew
really what
him.
she was saying is, "Where you been with my batteries to my remote control?"
Yes, yes.
Hmm.
And
So,
while she's sitting up here clicking the thing, and it's the cell
The
phone, and it's
cell
not
phone.
even, yeah.
yeah,
So
yeah.
that's why he knew she was having an issue because when he took it, she said, well, fix it. So he said, well, maybe the batteries are dead. He knew it was a cell, he said it's a cell phone. She's like, no, it's not. It's my remote. And he was like, okay, well, maybe the batteries, he just, yeah.
But
I,
that made
I'm
him
so sad about
reflect
that.
about his current situation. And he
Yes.
said, "You're not my grandson. You're a bum."
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so that took him to a low moment, and but it seemed like it set something off in him
It
because she
did.
said, "You're a hero," and he said something
I
to the fact like,
was.
"I
I'm
was,
gonna be. I
I'm
will
gonna
be.
be a hero." So that pushed him fast forward, sitting at the visual for Keisha. And so I think he's going to be, my prediction, I'm going to tell it early, is that he's going to be an integral part of finding Keisha.
He is.
Oh yeah.
I've seen the trailers.
Oh,
He
wow.
is.
Yep.
I
That's
don't want
gonna
to spoil
be
it for myself.
he's oh, I'm sorry. Well, anyway,
Mm.
spoiler. But he says that's gonna be my mission. He goes on a complete, he's already getting ready to walk in his faith because when he was talking to I'm gonna call him Big Papa. When he
Mhm.
was talking to Big Papa, Papa's dad, y'all.
Oh,
He
Big Papa's dad.
Right,
Papa's dad.
right. So he was talking to the pastor, and he said, "What did he say? I'm a guy. I guide people, right?" And he said, "I could use one of those." You know,
Yeah.
I've also seen to where he gets baptized. He's about to. It's about to change, which makes me
Right.
happy but sad because that means that we're not gonna see coming. But anyway,
Hush.
But
Oh.
again, they had some good music in here. I was like,
oh
shout
my
out to
goodness, I
Jeffrey
was shazamming
Osborne.
the whole time. I was shazamming the whole time. I thought they was gonna let my boy Luke sing a little bit longer though, baby though.
Can we talk about that? I was so upset because I still haven't even investigated his lyrics or anything like that, but I know he sings.
Who? Who?
Luke James. I didn't. I'm so sorry. I have not. But I was like, oh, okay, so we about to hear him sing?
You
No,
heard enough
fooled
of
you.
him to know that he
Uh-huh.
can sing. Okay, so that's enough for
Okay,
you to go do
no.
your research alone. Uh-huh.
Okay, I
Uh-huh.
will.
Mm-hmm.
Pull
Mm-hmm.
up
But
the New Edition story and you'll hear him sing, especially when he sings "My My My."
Uh-huh.
Woo,
Yes.
baby!
I was
Yes.
blown that they put the real song over. I was like, well,
I
y'all blew the
know, I
Well,
whole
know.
ain't nothing like the
moment.
original though.
I know it's nothing like the original, but I thought they was gonna let him sing at least another. Because as soon as he sang that first word, I was like, oh, my
But they
song.
panned over them. Who else did they pan
Yeah.
over? They panned over Ronnie. He was walking down the street like, but he ain't in love. But I think it's God's love or something over him.
Well, that's why he gave
Because he
Lil
had just
Wiglet
dropped
them
off them
flowers
flowers to,
to Lil
yeah.
Wiglet girl.
Charlene.
Hmm.
Charlene.
Was it to Charlene?
Yeah.
Yes.
I
Yes.
missed that. I saw him with the flowers, but I didn't know who they were
And
for.
she picked them up and smelled.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
And then they also panned over Papa and Maisha
Yes.
and
Oh yeah.
Can we?
Jada and the coworker.
Mhm.
Yes. Can we talk about Big Papa for a minute or Little Big Papa real quick?
Yes.
Can we talk about how I love Papa and his little scary ass truth? That little boy is scary and he has no qualms about it.
with his
But do
little
you,
pin on himself self.
honey, oh
Okay.
honey. But when he turned around and what he tell Maisha, I came to get you. They stealing girls out here. They stealing
I
girls out
can't
here right
let
now. I
nothing happen to
can't
you.
let nothing happen to you. She was like, really? And he brought her a sandwich. Hey, I'm a foodie. America, y'all might not be able to all see me. I'm thicker than a snicker, and I like my grub. Like-minded people. When he brought that baby her sandwich and had a little jelly on it, and it was wrapped in the foil, cause it was
And it was
still
warm.
warm, baby, you don't even know. That is
Okay.
that's little kid foreplay. That's big kid foreplay too. If y'all listening,
Okay. Please.
okay, just to let y'all know. I like a little bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit with some jelly too. But it was
You like
so
a little sweet with your savory?
cute.
Uh-huh.
Yes, I like it. I like it. It was so
That
But I
cute.
was
And
like
then
how they
the
showed them
cheek.
because they're in the same school. And then they showed Jake and Kevin because I was wondering how they were going to pull those elements together.
I'm glad, yeah, because I was thinking
Oh,
about the
that's
same
another
thing with
question
the
they answered
yeah
too.
with Jake. Hmm.
Yeah, because remember we were all like, "How did Jake get in there?" Or how did Jake get to the school? Because we
Oh, we knew
knew
it was money.
Kevin was invited, but
Yeah,
but at least they answered it. We don't have to
yeah.
assume we know the answer to it.
right.
He
Right.
said,
What
"Pull
happened
some
to
strings on
so
my ass."
Tiff and Emmett moving in with Jada? Two questions. Okay, what happened to the apartment they were currently living in, and what happened to Emmett's apartment that he had at the end of last season?
Got $300. I think
Yes,
he
that
got
little
rid of it
broom
because he
closet.
moved in. I think he got rid of it because he moved in with Tiff and the baby. And can I just say, kudos to the Shy that y'all actually have a kid that's growing. Y'all about the only show that's got a baby who is growing up. Okay? Okay? Now the baby still had the little bonnet, the little cap on his head. I'm gonna need y'all to retire them caps,
No,
TV.
he
I
had a
don't know
ball
what
cap
y'all.
on.
No. But when he was in there and he was playing, he had his pajamas on because Emmett didn't take him to daycare. That baby had one of charity cases bonnet hats on his head. And I wanted y'all to see that. But anyway, shout out as a side note. I'm laughing. It's a side note. Thank y'all to Shy for letting that baby grow up.
I was unclear on that. I thought that they were plotting to go to Jada house, like, well, they apparently they need a place to stay, but I wasn't sure if it's because they wanted to save up money because they said it would only be 2 months.
Hmm.
So I wasn't clear what the real circumstances were, why they wanted to go move with the mother.
They didn't make that clear. I was
Yeah,
just like, what? How do you go? Like, can you give us some type of indicator as to what happened? Because y'all
yeah,
place
because we
was
never saw an argument about rent or anything
right,
like that.
Right.
right,
Or an eviction notice or a threat of it or
right,
anything else.
And she
It's
right.
still
something
has
to
her
do.
job dealing her weed,
That's what I'm saying. It's something to do
although
with
she
this
called it,
weed,
she said she
y'all.
had a profession, she was a professional, but
It's
So let
something
me
to do
tell
with this
you, that is
weed.
one thing I did offline. Marijuana, or recreational marijuana, is legal in Illinois. So that's why she is literally working for a dispensary. Just
It's
to let you
legal here in California as well.
know.
Hmm.
Okay. Well, I mean, but I'm in Georgia. It's only decriminalized. It's not legal. So I
Oh
was
no.
wondering the same thing, because even like the mama was too cool. Like, no selling weed here. Like, you just not even, you just gonna let them sell weed and it's gonna be okay. So I had to do some research on that and figure out the laws for Illinois. So there's
Mm.
my little 2 cents. That's
Oh.
Okay,
I
so
wasn't
now
worried about
that is making sense to me now because even my bonus son, which is what I call my stepson, he is he
Works
he,
for the
he
dispensary.
um
he's an
he picks
independent
up
distributor.
He's
orders
an
online.
independent contractor.
He picks up orders online. He delivers. He's a delivery man, and he
Oh,
makes
okay.
very good money. He's bought a
Oh
home,
yes, they do. Oh
bought
yeah,
a
they
home,
do.
a whole home.
Well, maybe
Yeah, they
that's
do.
what Keisha does. She got
And
it.
they could be
She
bonded.
If
delivers. Maybe she
Well,
delivers.
no, it looks like she sells because hers be unpackaged. She's packaging.
His is unpackaged too. He has
Right.
to put
So
it
he has
together.
to
He
put
has
it
to put an
together.
order
Yeah.
together.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
maybe
but that's
that's
why
what
she
she
has the
does.
jars with the labels and stuff like that. Because I
Mm-hmm.
had to do some research. Because I let's
Now
see,
it
how can
makes
I put
sense.
this?
Now it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
it is actually a legitimate business. Because I was really wondering, like, so everybody just cool with baby mama selling dope? Like,
Right.
this just cool?
Yeah.
We're not gonna. But
Cause she had
it's a
weight. Mm-hmm.
job. Okay, cool. I
Yeah,
ain't
cause
tripping
she
then.
was
I'm
all
good with it.
dressed up. So I guess Emmett's money. He had to put all his money in with Lala, which is about to be a problem.
A huge
Not
problem.
a problem, a problem. It's about to be a
Hmm.
problem.
Hmm.
Okay,
You need to bring in that
um,
overhead
honey.
quickly,
Um, but
fast.
Well, it's gonna be a problem with Sunny also.
I think Sonny gonna get on board. Sonny like Emmett. I have a feeling that Sonny is gonna get on board.
Well,
But
he
he
wants,
don't like Dominique.
Well, then they still got Brandon's food trucks.
which is where they
Interesting.
should be doing them. But come
I
on, if
agree.
I go and say I want 3 slabs of ribs,
Oh,
I'm not
nigga, you
thinking you're gonna give
done.
me my order right here. You're gonna tell me probably it's gonna be 20 minutes, sir.
Or you should have
No,
called
it's gonna
ahead,
be more.
sir.
It's gonna be more
Can
than
we
20 minutes.
can we talk about the fact that it was $30 for three slabs
$30,
of?
right?
Look, I had to write it down.
For
For
a
three
Three
slabs
bucket,
of
slices of
ribs,
ribs,
a
coleslaw,
coleslaw,
and a
and a
bucket of
bucket
a
macaroni and
bucket
of
of
cheese.
mac
mac
and
and
cheese.
cheese.
I said,
I'm
oh,
like,
she ain't selling it for. That's not a good point price. It's good for us, but it's definitely
Right,
consumers market where they were.
And
Cause
I know Chicago cost of living is not that low.
right. So
and why she
yeah,
was cooking to order? Why was she cooking to order?
yeah, now see, I'm with you on that too, Aaron, because I was like, okay, they should have gotten this like kind of together. Like, why don't they do like some of these pop-ups do? If you have certain things, you need to have certain things for that day. And they need to be made so that you can start off orders. Because if you pop in like you were, you should have some of your other people already. They calling in orders already. So those orders are done and they're just having to come pick up and pay. If you coming in to buy something real quick, it's what we order today, not this and this and this and this. Because y'all see how many times she poured macaroni in that pot? 3 times, and since
she
that man
did.
they came back there to talk to her. I'm
She
like, boo
did.
boo, it's gonna be al dente. What are you doing? So yeah, hello. So
Yeah.
I
But
yeah,
remember
I'm
when Flint's, okay, we used to go, we loved in Oakland, which is the north part of Oakland. There was a very
no,
a
the
famous
best
place
the
called the
best
Best.
one was on Havens Court. That was the best
Okay, but
Well, it was
Flint,
still a chain. It was
it was
Flint's.
Flint's was a chain, and the one over there off in North Oakland, we would sit for an hour in that line for some ribs. And it wasn't
one. She
just
will wait.
black people, it was
It
every
wasn't. Hmm.
color. And that was, you know, so they were making ribs, you had to wait for it. So
Yeah,
they got good food, people are gonna wait for it.
yeah. Because we knew we got to wait. If you was lucky enough to get him to answer that phone, woo.
But they still need the overhead because one person in the kitchen, one
Yeah.
person at the register, that's not gonna help it. That's not gonna
No,
work at
because
all.
he needs to
And
be
that's the
helping
other
do
thing.
some
Go ahead.
orders. No, I just say he
I'm
need to be
trying to
helping do
figure
some
out. This
orders.
is this is an opening for something. Somebody is coming in. Somebody is coming in. Something is about to come in to this because obviously they were overwhelmed. It's popular. It's popping, and she keeps saying, "You gonna have to give me some help. You gonna have to give me some help." So who this help finna be?
Are we getting
That's what I'm
Tiffany?
trying to figure out.
Are we getting
Let's bring
Tiffany?
Tiffany.
Are we bringing Tiffany? Because you need to be able to, first of all, this is going to be a way that you trust me because we working. Because you already have trust issues with me, Tiffany. So now you can come in, you can help. This is a family thing that we're doing. And hopefully, I don't know though, because what I thought about it, I just go crazy with Emmett though. I'm thinking I don't want Emmett to turn that into some kind of three-way situation.
But do you see that they keep showing them being this close?
Yeah.
I mean, like they're literally almost like
Johnny and
Yes.
Kevin.
and they keep showing it, but I don't see that Emmett is looking at her like that.
I do.
Yes, they did.
Before he
Because-
looked at her body like a man did, but I don't see him like I don't see him looking at her in an obsessive way. When
She walked past that last time, he said, no, he was working, you're right. But when she walked past, I'm not like these other hoes you used to. He said, you don't know what I'm used to. And then he was like, oh. Like, it wasn't like just girl. It was like, ooh, this girl.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Try that buttermilk though,
Oh!
in the chicken.
Did you hear Dre? Did you hear Dre say, is this from Sunny? And he was like, not exactly. I said, why you didn't you brought him some of the other girl chicken and not Sunny's? That was scandalous.
Oh, wait a minute. Then he tried to go in the room and holler at Kevin, and Kevin was over there obsessing over the little girl at the school who dropped. She let him eject. No, y'all not gonna come up in this.
She's
school.
a little chocolate Johnny.
Yes.
Okay.
She is.
I was like,
I was here for Gemma.
you.
I was here for Gemma.
Okay. She was like, we can't be excellent. We gotta be phenomenal. I was like, go ahead, girl. Preach to these boys. Okay. And then she said, you're a king. Stop acting like a peasant.
Yes. And then what they said at the same time.
I thought about
I did too. I was like, that is mean. I got on my notes here. I said, look at I didn't say chocolate jar, but I said, look at Ja wrapped in chocolate.
Okay.
I did. I said, look at Ja.
But while we talking
you
about
guys
Kevin,
don't know, I am the militant one of this group. And not militant, but I am
militant midget.
Being black.
As she's the lightest one
we all love being black.
on the podcast, y'all.
First off, we don't say midget. We say little or small. Okay.
No, she's the militant
Petite
midget.
is the word correctly.
She's the militant midget.
Petite.
We are petite. That's exactly. We are petite. Okay. Yes.
Oh yeah, because I'm definitely not
5. Okay.
All y'all are. I'm not.
Don't be looking down at us like that, man.
I'm not looking down. I'm just saying, y'all. I whatever y'all dropped on the table, I picked it up. I got it.
No, that's fine because it is like you said, because petite means small frame, and then Iva, you said you were thicker than a Snicker.
Yeah, a couple of Snickers actually.
Yeah, but she was what is this young lady's name? I didn't catch her name.
Gemma.
Well, Gemma was dropping out of this, so now Kevin has a new love interest.
And Jake is hating.
Calling her a bitch. Talking about this
because
bitch
Jake's at the
same
time. She's
this bitch
amazing.
is crazy.
Crazy. Yes.
I thought that was cute. I was just like, oh, Kevin, you two will find love.
Yes.
Okay, y'all. So hold on. So when Emmett bust in the room and Kev was pleasuring himself, can we make a note that this was to her Instagram photo? It was not to the porn site or nothing. It was the girl's Instagram.
It was. It was a little picture. A little school picture.
Whatever.
That boy had his lotion. But Kevin, first thing I said is, little Negro, why your door not locked? You knew.
Because he probably
knew at this.
Because he probably used to nobody just busting into his room. They probably knocking. Yeah, because Nina knocked. When she went in there to go talk to him, she knocked on the door. He ain't used to somebody just barging in.
But
and
they knock. They do the knock walk though. Nina does the knock walk. She don't do the wait for to come in. She does.
I do a knock walk.
Yeah, Mama's. Yeah, she do the knock walk.
I
And
don't
that's
need
what Emmett did. He did the knock walk. Hey, hey, oh, okay,
permission.
And it
okay.
He
I'm
was
gonna talk to
funny.
you
knew what
later.
he was doing.
He knew what he was doing. He was used to that.
No, but it was
But I'm
funny
saying he was
how
so focused on what he was doing that he didn't hear the knock, you know.
Yeah.
right, because when he popped up, it was like slow mo. Oh shit! I was like, dang, you was almost there, huh?
All
I like
right.
what she said. I like what Jimma said to Jake. I'm talking to you, Ashy.
Okay.
That's how I said they're gonna be. That's gonna be a good one because he's gonna like her, and she's smart.
Very
She
smart.
is smart,
Hmm.
and she excuse me, people. She code switched because she was in the class. She gave her presentation. She did that. She was very well. Then she turned around and read them the right act. Check this out. That's basically what she should have said. Check this out.
Because
Y'all
it goes
motherfuckers.
back to
Da,
what
da,
we
da,
were saying
da.
earlier. Not only do you represent your parents, but when you're out there, you're representing the entire race. So if you walk
Yes.
around with your pants down,
Ooh.
you're making us all look bad because we're all not the crabs on the bottom of the bucket, and we all, we're not all the same crabs. Okay.
Right, right.
Some of us are Dungeness. Some of us are
Oh
snow.
Lord.
Some of us are blue. I'm just playing.
Oh Lord.
There's that in what is it called, analogy or something like, you have crabs in a bucket and they're trying to pull each other down. And
Yes.
Mhm.
we're trying to say, no, we're not going to do that here.
Right.
We're going to represent well in front of these white folks. That's
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
She cursed. I was like, you better get it, Gemma. You better speak Jake's language. Because
Right.
that is definitely Jake's language. And it's not Kevin's, because Kevin said, don't call me a what, child?
Right.
What
What
did
he
he say?
say?
Don't call me a what?
I don't remember. I don't remember what you said.
You missed that?
You missed that?
You of
I
all
thought about
people?
you. I thought about you. When he
Don't
told
call
Trick,
me a nigga, bruh.
when
Kevin
he
said
told
the
Trick,
that
trash?
to
Was that?
Trick.
he told that to Trick.
Oh yeah, I did remember that. I do.
Don't call
remember
me a nigga. Because he was throwing that around. He
Mm-hmm.
said,
Hmm.
nigga, are you crazy? Y'all little niggas, I don't want to see y'all little niggas on the news, nigga. I was like, oh, that was a misplaced. That was an extra nigga. You could have left that one out.
Dang.
But
But yeah, Kevin.
They do say nigga in this show, and I like that they're keeping it real because it is the word of the what I say
the
culture.
culture.
But
But yes,
I
so
can definitely respect the fact that Kevin speaks up for himself. Look, don't call me that
yes,
because that's not my name, and
he
that's
was
certainly
taking it
not
back to
how I
Brandon.
act.
He was
Okay,
taking it back to Brandon. I
right.
thought that was a good tribute. That was a Brandon tribute. So they
Mhm.
throwing little Brandon nuggets because that was
Mhm.
definitely yeah.
Absolutely.
But I love the way that they showed the world and all the viewers that there are us who want to strive, that there are us who are educated, and that we are paying attention, and that we can school each other too and let
Mhm.
each other know in a certain way. Hey, you're not on the bus, you're supposed to be on this bus here, not going down the street or whatever else, whatever way you want to be going. So I like that. I
Right.
really appreciated that. They're covering a lot of things here too. They're covering missing girls. It looks like we're going to be going into talking about some human trafficking that's going on. So they're touching on some things here too that I think are important and that are relative into society right now.
Right.
I have a question. Does
Yes.
anybody else think that the little dude that Ronnie was chasing at the end may have been seen around the neighborhood and possibly around the bus stop that night that Keisha was gone?
It's alluding to something, and he stood out there in the community of the Black people that was interested in Keisha's visual, and that. Well, I watch a lot of First 48 and all these life. But that they always say that people who usually victimize are always the people that are standing right there.
Oh
Helping you
yes.
find, helping you look. Yeah.
Mhm. Mhm. Absolutely. Yeah. This is it's unfolding a lot different than what I would have thought, because I would have thought that they would have found her by now, or at least had some kind of clue. where they would have been closer to her, but no, they are no more closer today than they were 2 weeks ago.
So,
So,
so Aaron, what do you think about Kevin finally coming to the protest?
or the vigil.
Hmm.
I mean, I was glad to see that he went. Um, I'm trying to figure because clearly something is going to come from the vigil. Obviously, we saw Ronnie chasing the weird looking, creepy white guy, which pause. I'm so sorry, but I'm
Man,
glad he was white. I'm glad he was white. I'm so sorry. But also, they gave Nina a chance to redeem herself with Dre, and put the spotlight. We are in this together. So that was a pseudo apology to me because she really needs
yeah.
to apologize
Cause
to Dre
Dre had a
personally.
little, she had a little butthurt moment. Jada, why aren't you up there? Cause I'm not her mama, apparently. Now that part she could have kept to me. But go ahead.
I mean, if we being petty, because first of all, let's make note, she went up there without her. It ain't like she said, Dre, come up here with me, and Dre was like, nah, I'm not the mama.
She wasn't gonna go. Remember? She didn't want to go. So I don't even know
She
if
went
she thought she was gonna
alone.
be there. Yeah,
Went
she went
alone.
alone. That was part of their argument. Remember? Because
Oh
she
yeah,
wanted to
that's
go,
right.
and Dre was like, "Why? Them bitches don't, you know." Ooh, I
Dre
still want to
doesn't
talk
trust
about them
the
ladies
of
though.
it in the beginning. She didn't trust any of it in the beginning. So it just feels like Dre wants to do things her way. She has a way of how she wants to do things. But when it's not your kid, Dre, you gotta go along with what the mama said. And that's just the way it is.
Okay, that part I agree with. You can give ideas and suggest, but the mama does have to kind of take a lead. And I do need Nina to take a little bit more of a lead because she is kind of letting Dre just kind of handle a lot of it to me. And I think she's taking a back seat. Not that she's not grieving. I'm not discounting that. And I think she's letting Dre take over a little bit. And clearly, she needs to get a little bit more involved because, as we see, she didn't even know a lot about her daughter, which we knew from the argument. What was that last weekend about the birth control pills and all that type of stuff? She didn't, So
She too
yeah,
damn passive for me.
Nina.
Yes, she
Yes.
is. I totally agree because at some point, number one, I was shocked to see her almost turn on her daughter in this moment. Why would she do this? I raised her better than this and blah blah blah. Like, forget about all that. Deal with that when she gets home.
Hmm.
You
But
need to
that's
find
guilt.
her right now.
That's
You
guilt,
need to
bull.
find her right now. I I
That's
get
guilt.
that, but I just had to give you that because I still this your child, you know, just accept it for what it is and deal with the child when you get her back. You
Yeah.
can make amends for that right now. In this moment, sitting up here, oh, I can't believe she would do this and that. Baby, you need to be trying to find your baby, okay? You need to be trying to find her. That needs to be the focus right now.
But I like how
And
you will have a lot of adults, you'll have a lot of churchy folks and stuff condemn children. Let's not forget.
Oh yes. Not
And
remember that
I
they are
like the
kids.
way they validated that nobody is perfect. I
That's
really like that. And, because we done all done some things. Even the adults that tell us these things because they know better, have done some things and got skeletons. So I like the way that they did unravel that to Keisha's defense. Keisha's not around.
yeah, and
Tracy.
especially
Tracy's
Nina's
speech
line
was
at the
everything.
vigil
What?
when Nina was like, if everybody just judged you by what you did wrong, they would have the wrong picture of you. It wouldn't be
And
an
that's why
accurate
they were
picture of who
showing
you
Ronnie.
are.
That's why they
Yeah.
were showing Ronnie at that time, I believe too. And
Hmm.
I think that's gonna what's gonna help vindicate Ronnie. I think I'm with y'all, Ja. He's gonna be an integral part in finding this girl. Or if not, if he doesn't find her, he's gonna like lead a real make a big stink in the community about finding her. And that's gonna also come up with a little bit of forgiveness because remember, Kevin don't mess with him. So if he helps to find his brother, I mean his sister, or does find his sister, Kevin is gonna have to kind of eat that crow and say thank you to him. And with
Hmm.
Kevin growing as he is, I think that he will be capable of doing that.
Mm-hmm.
There
You
was
know.
something else though that I don't want to leave out, as Iva calls Big Papa, because I don't know what Papa's dad's name is. Because
Right.
when Ronnie said he did not know how to forgive himself, and he said the first thing you need to do is forgive yourself,
Yes.
and that was just so powerful to me. So um, I think because like before I said, to me, Ronnie is a good guy. I don't know why anybody would think that Ronnie would have had anything to do with Keisha's abduction, missing, or wherever she is.
Dre was
I
doing
just
too much.
I don't even see him as a bad guy. I just see him as a guy who has lost his way. And we saw at the end of the last season where they showed where he had these issues with where he found out who his dad was and he was living across the street. And he had a talk with his dad. I would have been this, that, and the third if I would have had a dad and somebody leading me. So
Hmm.
um, I think this is the season for Ronnie to shine and redeem himself, and I'm happy to see it.
I am too. I'm ready for some things. I think this whole season is everything is happening like it's unfolding and it's happening. I can't even explain it, but it's like so many different storylines, but they're all connected. This is some good writing. And you know how the other seasons are usually the main face is Kevin's. The main face for this season is Keisha.
Hmm.
Y'all see the ads for the Shy? The main face usually is Kevin.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
I've noticed that too.
yeah, this season is about her.
But you
So
guys, but they already ran up in this trap, or well, it's not really a trap house. It's
That's
yes,
a
it
A
was.
that's a
brothel.
brothel.
That's
it's
a brothel.
a
That
brothel.
was a
Okay,
whole bunch of.
so
Do
who is gonna call in and get this thing shut down?
nobody.
I want her to stay focused, since we come here for Jake. But I'm gonna need for you to also have some compassion for some people that are having things done to them without their
Against their will.
against.
He gonna help her get them kids, them ladies out, cause the way he
And he
can't.
just call the
He,
police and drop a dime, or,
nah,
or snitches
nah.
get stitches.
Snitches get stitches.
Well, they went
And you
up in the
see,
house and they showed their faces.
but I was about to say, you see that code though. He knew who he was because he asked for him. He said, "Where's stripes or sticks or stones or whatever his name
Stacks.
was. What's his name?
Stacks.
Stacks,
He said sticks and
sticks and
stones.
stones or something." But they went up there. They cocked on him. And on Nook. There you go, Lovey. Nook, if you okay.
But
So he pulled up on Nook and asked where was that. So he knew the protocol. Boom. Yeah, I know that's not your house. Where's he? I know he here. Boom. The dude came down. I don't think there's any. He doesn't have any. They don't have any thoughts of anybody coming back on them because he knew what they were going for. They didn't mess with anything. They just looked. And if they would have found her, they would have taken her and left. They didn't do anything else. So I think that's part of that co-respect. Did y'all peep out when she bust open that door? That food just kept going. Ugh. Okay, sorry. I had to get that out of my mind. But I think that he's. That's why I think that it's gonna be something with the salon, or she's gonna start
Or
helping
they may
to
just convert that
redo.
house, a part of the house, to where they can assist with shelter girls or girls, who are coming out of that lifestyle.
Because he kept saying where they gonna go, who gonna
Mm-hmm.
feed them, who
Who
gonna
gonna feed
clothe
them?
them.
Yep. Because they could
Hmm.
get funding for that.
And clearly that must be a habit of hers because he explicitly said you can't keep saving everybody or you can't save everybody. So this is not a one-time thing. This is clearly a passion of Imani's that, he's had to battle with her about. Clearly he is in favor of helping. I think he is going to give in and allow her that to be her project while he works on getting
Jake.
Jake.
We
Yeah.
we gonna find out. It's gonna unfold how they met and everything like that, and what kind of money they have. Cause you see what kind of car they driving, and you see what kind of how Imani dresses. So I'm curious to see about this money that they have and what's going on. But we already know that Trig is a tough guy. Um, so I mean he's clearly a tough guy. He's so handsome.
well,
Sorry.
they left us with a cliffhanger about that could have been me. Also, Jake said, "No, Kevin, she's not dead." And he said, "How you know?" He said, Jake said, "Cause
I
I."
feel it.
And Imani said, "Me too."
Me too.
So,
Mhm.
Yeah, cause Trig is a little blunt, little asshole, kind of. I'm sorry for the choice of words, but he's a blunt little asshole. You know
he's
what I'm
rough around
saying?
the edges. He most definitely is.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, he said, well, I mean, I'm just saying. And Imani was like, calm down, like,
Well, usually because they say it's been
stop.
a week, so
But the whole
the odds
time
are
though,
good.
when they got in the car, he was, kind of on them and,
Yeah,
talking
his
and
attitude was very negative.
yes,
Or
but I'm
versus
glad.
hers, she was a lot more optimistic.
The way he talked to them, but I like that Jake understood it and didn't like take like offense or whatever. He's like, "You gonna help me or not? I do this for family." And he was like, "He is my family," and that's when
Mhm.
Imani looked at him like, "You need to, that is, you
He
weren't
did
here."
try to do something that his brother asked him to do.
Oh, he did it.
Yes. So
He did it.
I think he is there for all in good intentions.
Okay, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Mhm.
that was one of
Mhm.
my
Yeah, so I don't
concerns,
think that
people.
gave. Yeah. Did he get a brownie point with you, Iva?
Yes, he did. He did. Especially when they rode up, uh, pistols blazing.
Yes.
I was like, yeah. Well, yeah, so.
So, what are your predictions for next week? We're kind of predicting that she's going to turn that house into some form of a shelter. What? What else?
I think they're gonna put roots down. Well, because of that house would have them put roots down.
Mhm.
Um, and I think that Jake is going to start to see more of what Duda is. Something's going to happen with Duda where he's gonna, it's gonna be all bad for him. But that Jake will be able to go with his brother. And since we think they got a little money, or I think they got a little money, Jake will probably still be able to go to that school. um,
I think, I think we're gonna see some activity with Ronnie. Um, we're gonna see some things, some good positive things that are gonna happen with Ronnie, and we're gonna see Ronnie continuing or to be part of this search and do some digging around. Ronnie's gonna do some digging around, and we're gonna find out maybe another little clue about Keisha or something.
Okay.
Okay. Aaron?
I don't think that Emmett and Tiffany are gonna be together or be able to live with Jada for the amount of time that they were requesting. Something is gonna change.
Agreed.
Did anybody notice that he got back into his mama house? That was a segue right there. He got back into his mama's house. He is
Oh,
back.
we might see Jada out on a date, a non-date
Oh,
Yeah.
with a co-worker.
Mhm.
yeah. She let that go real fast, didn't she? Talking about I
Mhm.
don't date people. Well, we don't know you. I don't know you, and you might, and who's to say it's a date? Da, 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 blah blah. But you sure was smiling and cheesing and letting him open them doors for you. Friendly drink motel after you just got busted by your son for hooking up. Never mind. Go ahead.
Jada go her she and the coworker, they're gonna continue to date, and she gonna want her house back so that she can get her groove back in her house.
Ugh.
Okay?
Because
It's
Because
her
I mean,
house.
aren't they living in the
Jada
living
has to go.
room?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was that the living room? That was not a
Yeah.
bedroom, correct?
Right. That was the living
Okay.
room.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because remember, she moved and downsized her house, and that's
On
where
purpose.
she had to go.
Mhm.
Oh, yep.
Mhm.
Yeah, she did it on purpose.
Mhm. So, Jada gonna get her groove back, and
Mhm.
Emmett and Tiffany and Lil Hoppo got to go.
Not little Harpo.
Mhm.
Little growing Harpo though.
Mhm.
I don't think that Tiffany is not for Emmett, and
Emmett.
I'm surprised that Jada hasn't had that conversation. But Jada tends to let her son. She seems like, well, Tiffany told
Didn't she?
Jada that a lot of Emmett's ways were because of her. Basically, she was saying that she was an enabler.
Mhm.
Didn't she? I was kind of surprised by Tiffany. Maybe it's just me. I'm a little surprised by Tiffany's openness with or the way that she talks to Jada, not, because she's the mom. You can have respect. We grown. I'm not gonna, but I don't know. It's just, I think she kind of talks to her more like a sister or a friend, like she's Emmett's
Well,
She did.
sister.
Well, hell, she crossed that line last week when she gave her the card for the happy endings guy.
Well, I'm different because no, I think that might have been okay, but
I thought it was okay. The
yeah, I thought
only
it was
thing that was
okay.
strange about it was it didn't
The
answer, were you getting
conversation.
happy endings? Were you getting
Yeah,
happy endings too? But as far as I
yeah,
just felt like that was because if Jada's in a better headspace, that makes it better for everybody because they
it
have to
does.
deal with that. I'm sorry.
I'm
Hmm.
sorry. I wouldn't want my daughter-in-law to come to me and give me
But that's something that that's our conversation. We don't have to tell Emmett because, of course, she still doesn't know. He still doesn't know where she got the card from. But I think that shows like their closeness. I thought it was a good thing, but just kind of like the way that she talks to him, talks to her, or in this episode, I thought she was kind of like Jada said, y'all owe me an apology. I did like how Emmett seems like he's growing up though, because he kind of took that and he was like, all right, you're right. I'm sorry, I think
but
that
Amy
was,
was up all night grinding and getting his hustle on, trying
he
to do
was,
it for the family,
he
and that was
was,
not considered. I
hmm
hope my boys don't bring a girl home like Tiffany. I don't
yeah,
care for
she
this.
was inconsiderate. Because I was right. If you was going to be late for work, but you late for deliveries, poo. Come on, come on, come on.
And again, he was out working. It's not. Now
Yeah,
if he just had a long night partying at the club or whatever, then no, I'm not giving you a break.
like he
But
was used to.
you out here bringing money into the household. You doing what you got to do to provide for your family.
I
So
predict there's no future for them.
Well,
yeah,
I
and
mean, I
I'm
can
just
see
wondering
that.
how it's gonna unfold because it's they're
Dominique.
clashing, and then you see sparks between him and Dominique. So I don't know. Is it the case that they are really having problems, or is it that situation where that was okay, but now there's another option? So now this situation that was okay is kind of a problem now. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know. I just don't know why they decided to bring her in. That's kind of what I'm been wondering about her. Like why she's getting so much screen time. I think they were trying to make it as far as making it seem like Emmett or putting it as one of the ways to show that Emmett is growing up, taking responsibility and things like that. But he could have done that easily without still being with Tiffany. Just like he catered the baby shower for the other baby mama, right? I'm sorry, the other child's mom. He catered that one. So that was a connection. Boom, you see that. He could have easily done the same for Tiffany or some of her friends, and then the other one, the first son's mom that we may not see again. I didn't think that they needed to put him with her just to show him being able to settle down because he's already shown his penis to the girl. Like you already.
Look, that was the password, okay? He gave the password.
Well, you already showing me right. Show it to me. You already showing me that you are. I don't know, cause she's. I mean, I don't know. They have a connection. They have a
Yeah, there's a
connection.
lot of flirting going there, but I mean, Emmett's already a natural flirt. She's
He
already
is
a natural flirt. So I don't know if that really means anything because the definition of flirt really is nothing. So
right.
we're gonna see is it gonna be business and a little pleasure? Well, I guess we'll find out.
I think Tiffany's going to think that their dynamic is flirtier than it is because they will actually work well together because you see Dom was getting upset with him about, you need some more help in here, da da da. But she was serious, but she was still working and getting that done. She wasn't just like, I'm out, you
Well,
know.
Tiffany has not seen Dominique.
She sure has
So
not.
if she sees her, it might be a problem because we know that there are these women who are not secure in themselves, and if they see another beautiful woman, it makes a problem.
hmm Well, we
Yes.
we said that she's gonna her insecure side is gonna
Hmm.
come out the
It
minute that
already
she sees
came out when
her.
she asked for his number, remember? It
Yeah,
came out when he asked for her number. Why you
right,
need the bitch number, Emmett?
right. So All right.
Outgrow Tiffany. Tiffany is not going in the lane that he is traveling in, and
Hmm. Yeah, because
I
you
hope they
get
figure it out before they get this put a new lease on the place. Oh,
true facts. Mm. Well, the story continues.
Mhm.
All right, it looks like we have unpacked this week's episode of The Shy. Episode 3, we're only 3 episodes in. We have unpacked a lot within the last 3 weeks. It's time to put that suitcase back on the shelf, but don't worry, we're going to bring it back out next week and take another journey through the streets of Chicago. So definitely share, like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell your mama and them, tell them to join the discussion. You join the discussion as well. And don't forget that I am now, in fact, a part of the Pop Break Radio Network family, where you can find all of my episodes on www.thepopbreak.com. It is, in fact, an online entertainment magazine. You can find all of my episodes plus so much more on their lovely website. So definitely check it out. Thank you, ladies. See you next
Bye.
week.